Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to your Q&A with Dr. Odile Feast, that's me, and friends, all of these people that you can see, all of these lovely people. And we're doing a Q&A today, and if you're here, I'd love to hear what your questions are. If you would like to know more about what the Body Whispering class is, what your specific questions are, given that we have really stepped into, again, which happens with most of the classes, we're in a new space and there's more available now for all of us individually and especially all of us together. There is such an exciting place and space available. I've kind of been on a different planet, but on this planet, but in a different space of awareness and contribution and creating my life, my business, given what's happened in the last few weeks, which was the SOP in Delhi, the Business Whispering class in Delhi, the amount of people that attended that Business Whispering class and what's been created from that class and the spaces and places that have opened up from that class. And so now this Body Whispering class, the reason we always start fresh with a Body Whispering class, and we literally do, we actually do not use the previous classes as a reference point at all. So that's why we have to do these Q&As and these Zooms to give you the energy of what the new class is. And the new energy also doesn't even kick in completely until we get there. And I'm so excited. I have a sense of what that is. And given what this whispering thing is all about, it's like I'm only receiving the whispers right now. So when I get to Mumbai, those whispers will intensify. And when we get to the class, it's like a whole new level of space, possibility, availability of stepping into whatever it is you want to create. I don't have a point of view around what you can get out of or not get out of, or why you want to come to a Body Whispering class. You might want to heal your body. You might want to make more money. You might want to change a relationship. You might want to tap into who you really are. You might want to get familiar with who you are. And that's something that you do get out of these classes, is if you've got everything else except you, it's hard to navigate through life, right? Like, life is awesome, but who am I? So for me, these classes always give me more of me. And we've got a couple of veterans on this call. So and Sonali and Smriti and Aradhana can tell you if in each of these classes they get more of them. And when you get more of you, there is nothing that's not available to you. And in fact, not only is nothing not available to you, but whatever it is that you are here for on this planet in this lifetime, and please notice a shift in this, okay? Perceive the energy of this rather than listen to the words I'm saying. You might have heard before that you are here and able to facilitate a possibility for the world that is unique to you. And like me, you might have heard that before and thought, that's really nice. That's a great sentiment. But I don't really believe that. But please tap into the energy of when I say to you, there is something in this world that you are here to create. There are possibilities that only you are able to actualize and help the planet and help the world actualize in the world. And so if it's time to stop playing small, if it's time to really tap into that, like really, for me, it's finally here. Like seriously, for me, it's finally here. Then I invite you to come play with us, because these classes are about contribution. They always have been about contribution, but we've stepped into this place now where contribution is at the forefront. I actually had a conversation today with someone, and we were talking about the shift that's happened for me, for my business, for the planet, for the people in my team, and who come to these classes, who are willing to go where we are about to go. Contribution has gone from being an energy that's been present and that is part of the energies that are present, to being an energy that is right at the forefront of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Now, when you function from contribution, you're about to set off a nuclear bomb in your world of possibility. Because however much you can contribute, and you don't even have an awareness yet of what you can contribute. Whatever you think it is that you can contribute to the world and why you're here, and what talents or capacities or abilities you have, however much you've stepped into that to date, and however much of you have to date, I promise you it is the tip of the iceberg. I promise you there is so much more. And the thing that's actually unlocking this for a lot of us, the thing that's unlocking it for me, the thing that's unlocking it for my business and my team, is the functioning from contribution at the forefront of our target, of our agenda. Yes, we have an agenda, and it's contribution. Now, when you have contribution as an agenda, it's not an agenda that many people understand, right? So when contribution is not an agenda that many people understand, yet they come into contact with you, yet you step into it, and it changes their world, it changes your world. So now what's possible?
So if I may add there, Deela, like I was with Deela in Business Whispering in Delhi, and so this contribution stuff actually showed up, and it was like how looking from the space of what contribution can you be. I mean, I've been asking this question for so long, but then yes, it shows up when Adila comes to my country, and she just shows me a different picture of it, her potency just being, and it was like, wow, it just like kind of opened up spaces where I wasn't even aware of, being questioning. But yes, and since that day, it's everything has become like a whole. It's no complaints, no nothing, no problem. But yes, what contribution I'm being, and it just opens up a space which was not possible earlier. And I think you get it when you get it. And that's what Space Adila is. And I wonder if you guys want to kind of get there, because or either I think it's just that we got so used to it and trained like getting contribution from everybody else rather than being the contribution, and not acknowledging that being on the planet at this point of time, we are being contribution as and wherever we are, whatever we are, and we don't. And that's the awareness I got, that probably I don't have to reach anywhere, don't have to be anything. It has to just be, and I'm already being as whatever I'm being, a contribution. And then here forward, where do I go? And thanks to Rita for that.
I mean, if Aradhana can tap into the contribution she bees, I mean, the whole world is about to change. If you could please do something for me, if you can not even worry about listening to the words I'm saying on this Zoom. I don't know how we're going to go with sending out the recordings after, but for those of you that are on live, let's do this, forget introductory calls and forget promo calls. Like, let's do this as a group. Tap into the energy that's available. Tap into what's beyond the words of what Aradhana and I and everyone on this Zoom, and my team in particular, because they were at the business whispering class, so they have an awareness of the energy that I'm talking about. So tap into that energy of what that creates. Because everything you're looking for, we might have hit capacity. People can't join us. Wow. So whatever it is you're looking for in the world, it's actually a byproduct of this. So if you want to come to this class because you'd like to make more money, if you want to come to this class because you want to heal something in your life, you want to heal your body, you want to step into a new possibility, you want to get over the limitations that you've been functioning from, you're going to get that. That's actually a given. What I'm offering on top of that is the chance for you to change the world. Beyond that being a concept that you've heard about and thought it was a nice concept, but it had no place for as a reality in your world. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your story is. I don't care what your background is. I don't care where you've come from, because I've spent the weekend stepping into and exploring a lot of different places, and some information I would like to give you is, however limited you think you are, like whatever limitation you think you have in your world, I was no less limited than you. There is no limitation that you have in your world that I didn't have. If you want to choose money as that limitation, if you want to choose your family as that limitation, if you want to choose where you came from, where you were born, your status, your education, abuse, hurt, pain, judgment, that's a big one, self-judgment, whatever limitation that you have that you think makes you different, or makes you a case that's harder than everyone else, or makes it harder for you to step into what we're talking about, and it's only something you can perceive, it's not anything you're going to get from the words I'm talking about, there is nothing in that limitation that I haven't been. There's nothing in that limitation that I haven't experienced. There's none of you that haven't, there's nowhere that you've been where I haven't felt that desperation and felt like I should leave this planet now, I'm done. From both spectrums, because I was aware of so much possibility and it hurt so much to not be able to actualize it. And then also from the other end of the spectrum, where I thought, is this it? I've got most of the material stuff you would want in this world. Is this it? If this is it, like, maybe I can go now and be rebirthed so that I can have a new adventure, because I've kind of reached I've reached whatever it is that people try to reach, and it's cool, but it's not that great. Like, I can't do this for another 50 years. So I've been at both ends of that desperation. And to be where I am today, where everything is available to me, everything that I've known as a possibility is not only occurring, but is occurring faster than I actually could imagine. We talked a lot in the business whispering class about the problem of not having a problem. anymore, not having problems. So what do you do then? If that's the space you want to come and play in, excuse me, but every part of my body is right now emitting fluids. If that's the place you want to come and play in, then that's what we're doing for the 2 days in 11th and 12th of August in Mumbai. I don't care if you've been to a class before. I don't care what you've heard about the classes before. I don't care what you've decided they are or what you think you can get out of it. If you want to use those points of view to get yourself to the class, cool, get yourself to the class. But then hold on. Or don't hold on, but be prepared for much, 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 much more, right? Because actually what we'll do for this class is up until lunchtime of day 1, we'll offer a refund for anyone that's coming, because if it's way too uncomfortable and you want out, I understand, and I will refund your money for this particular class. Because I don't know what's being created, but I know that life is fucking unreal right now. It's unreal, the stuff that's being created. And I'm already putting into place, and I'm already instituting, and I have already instituted a few things for the class in Mumbai that are going to go beyond. And that's all I'll say about that for now. And what I'm going to do now is open it up for that Q&A that this was meant to be, rather than me stealing the show. So thank you if you're online. I appreciate you taking out the time to be here. Welcome to that intense, perhaps, introduction to this call. And questions. What are your questions? Please remember that you are muted, so you can unmute yourself, or you can put your hand up on this thing and we will unmute you. I've got a great question here from Rabia, and she's saying, what is the difference between business whispering and body? And the really funny thing about that is, for the people that turned up to the business whispering class, they got lots of stuff about body. And the people that turn up to the body whispering class are going to get stuff about business. Here's the thing. Everyone, and I have some awesome messages on my phone and in my inbox that I don't necessarily share to everyone. But for some reason, everyone that turns up to the body whispering class starts making more money. It's a really random side effect of going to that class. And it's also not random, because what the body whispering class is about, and it's my favorite class. I love this business whispering class we just had, was unbelievably phenomenal. It really was. Ask anyone that was there. I'm listening to my own recordings. My team in Canada and the States are listening to the recordings and going, whoa, this was a really amazing class. And the body whispering class is, I don't refer to things as my baby anymore, because they're actually bigger than me, and I'm their baby. I'm their vessel that they work through. Okay, so it's not my baby, but it's something very, 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 very dear to me. The body whispering class is truly magic. It's got the word body in it, not because it's a body class that just focuses on body. It's called body whispering because it's about how the universe whispers to you via your body as the vessel to interpret those whispers. So when we are in this world creating our lives, we receive whispers. Do this, do that, talk to this person, go here, go there, don't do this. This will create your body. This will contribute to your health. This will create your money flows. Our body is the vessel we have in this lifetime to receive those whispers And the tools you get from this class help you interpret those whispers. And there's two things we do with those whispers. Some of those whispers are for you and your body and your life. And you listen to those whispers and you apply the information you received, and your life changes, your money flows change, your business changes, everything changes. If you want an example of that, my life is an example of creating with the whispers. Secondly, you receive those whispers from your clients or the people that you are working with or from or on. So if you do sessions, if you're a facilitator, if you're a body worker, if you're a healer, when you're receiving those whispers, anywhere where you haven't been willing to completely trust those whispers and do what the whispers tell you to do, or go to a certain space in a session to create something, the body whispering class gives you the practical tools. Like, we actually not only talk about how to work with and how to facilitate classes and other people, but when you receive whispers from another person's body and being in a session or in a class, it tells you how to take that information and utilize it and work on that person's body or being. It's a really great 2-day crash course in actually trusting the information you receive, because we've all done a lot of classes, right? Most of us have done, I have maestros come to my class, I have CFs come to my class, I have practitioners who've been in practice working as doctors, as chiropractors, as healers for years and years and years come to these classes. It's a no prerequisite class because the universe takes care of the prerequisites. If you end up in a class with me, it's not an accident. You haven't gotten there by accident. You haven't gotten there before you're ready to receive this information. Previous participants will tell you that. Also, people that really want to come to my class but are not willing to actually receive this much potency and change, they never turn up to the class, as much as they verbally tell me they would like to come to the class. Again, I don't rely on the words that you speak to me. I rely on the information that's present energetically. This class is about really trusting the energy, really tapping into energy work, really being able to create a life and a business and your body work, your facilitation, your classes by trusting the energy more than any other information. It's about becoming a body whisperer, a business whisperer, and a life whisperer.
So may I add something that I got out of this class last year? It was the first time I attended Adila's body whispering class. And when I first met her, she said, have you been? And what have you been up to? When I was first introduced to her, I said, I have been trying to figure out what the hell do you do? And trying to talk about your class, which I have no clue about. And of course, then I kind of also got the honor of getting a session from her. And then I was in the body whispering class. What changed for me was that I was very aware that of whispers, but what changed was the word congruency. Rohini, can you mute yourself, please, darling? So what I got from that was that we all are, we are kind of tuned into whispers, if at some level or the other. However, we don't pay heed to those whispers. We ignore those whispers. We don't take action on those whispers. And not taking that action also kind of makes us lose out on a lot of opportunities, a lot of change that could have been possible, etc., etc. And what I got out of the class was taking that action. So not only being energetically tuned in, having communion with my body, but also becoming congruent in my actions and actually actualizing things that I could only because I was willing to be congruent. So not missing out on, not losing out on those whispers and letting them just remain whispers.
How does it get better? So Smriti's talked about the word congruence, which is actually a word that I've been talking about for the last 7 years, and it's recently really come to the forefront, which I'm so grateful for, because I used to have to explain what congruence was in all of my sessions and classes, because it was a concept that people didn't realize. Like, we've been tricked in this reality into thinking that people are so unaware, that you are so unaware, that you're going to believe everything you hear and see, rather than be able to pick up when there's an incongruence. And incongruence means you see or you hear one thing, but what's really going on is another. And when there's an incongruence, it's really hard to reconcile, and it creates issues. It either creates issues because someone's lying to you or being incongruent and you're trusting what they say rather than you're knowing, or it creates problems because you're being incongruent. And these classes create a space for you to energetically step into the congruence. I'm going to talk about, no, I might leave that till the class. Okay, so I'm just so proud of so many people who have stepped into congruence from these classes. And that's what creates, you see them show up different after these classes. You see them start to create their life, start to make money, start to be seen, start to become successful in whatever area it is. It doesn't have to be defined as business success only or monetary success. The energetic information you receive in this class is what I always struggle to convey to you, because I'm using a limitation. In a medium like this, we're on a Zoom call, I'm speaking to you, I'm using words, and if you're going to listen to the words that I'm saying only, there's a limitation to how much I can convey to you. But if you're willing to receive the energetic information I'm also presenting, and that is where the doubt occurs, because I've just said that, and some of you are going to think, are you presenting energetic information? What is it like? Am I missing it? Right? So yes, I am, and yes, you are receiving it, and yes, there is no issue with you being able to receive it. The issue occurs with you being willing to trust it and use that information to create your life, rather than the head tripping or the cognitive information that's presented to you.
Can I add something to that? It's so funny that a few days back, I was like, I was just sitting and I was like, just got this awareness of, I really don't think I'm a contribution. And it just started like opening up this space in areas where I was like, I facilitate people with this. And I'm like, what's going on? And I just realized that your business whispering class was going on. So it's like, how much are we energetically receiving that? Like when ideas pop or something pop, or when you ask, it changes, it contributes to the class and it contributes to what someone else next door is asking for. So thank you for whatever you guys were choosing and changing. It shifted for me.
Ina's always dynamically connected to my classes. She's no contribution at all, and the classes are no contribution at all to her, and vice versa. And that's what I mean about the contribution piece, is it's not a one-way street. There is absolutely no way for you to be a contribution, for contribution to only work one way. Even if you think it is, even if you think, why should I contribute to that person, that thing, to my husband, to my mother-in-law, to my ex-husband, to my ex-boss, to this person that tried to rip me off? Why should I contribute to them, right? because contribution doesn't work one way. And no matter, and whatever level of contribution you're willing to step into, my God, you will receive so much back that you're going to end up like me, which may or may not be a good thing, because ending up like me means you cry a lot because there's so much gratitude, there's so much awareness, there's so much contribution coming at you from people that you didn't expect to receive contribution from. Your life gets created faster, your business gets created faster. You step into spaces that you're like, don't have words, figure it out. I don't know how else to convey it. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Can I fill in some words here? I'd like to really add to this that, you know, everywhere most of us are on this call and connecting it to access or any other way in which life is for most of us right now. It really hasn't been the same for me in the last 1 year. Since I took my first body class with you, I have done some really different things in the last 1 year, and I am where I am, completely unplanned, if that's how I call it. And it's all come from being very, very congruent with where the energy was taking me. If I had to talk about where I was 1 year ago, where there was not as much congruency with energy, I was doing a whole lot of, I probably was doing a whole lot of head tripping. I would have taken all of this as, if I'm not creating classes or if I'm not doing sessions, then I'm not doing too much. But just, you know, just listening to the whispers of it, life has actually changed completely.
And Sonali doesn't even know this yet. But, I had a conversation about her today.
Oh my God.
And what a contribution she is without realizing she's a contribution. And how if you're willing to get out of any point of view and receive and give, because, you know, I was just scrolling through the people, and I think Wendy's on this call as well, and I have my whole team on this call, and my team are fucking phenomenal. And I'll tell you something about my team. There is no individual who is any less than anyone else on my team. We are all the strongest and most powerful women in our own rights. That to put us together in a team makes no sense in this reality, because it would cause competition, it would cause headbutting, it would cause needing to prove, it would cause a lot of issues in this reality. But my team are next level. And a lot of them don't realize the contribution they are yet, and that's okay, because I'm willing to contribute more to them. And I don't care if I contribute so much to them that they make so much money and get so rich and successful that they leave my team and don't need to work for me. And they don't need to work for me. They don't need to contribute to me. They don't need to be.
We don't need to work for you. We are there because we love what we create together.
They have more than enough work on their plate. They have more than enough money. They have more than enough other places they could go to. They don't need to be on this team, right?
I cannot not be on the team unless Anila throws me off. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not happening, Aradhana.
So I don't care. I just don't care anymore what your point of view is about what you can receive and what you're contributing and what you can be. Same when you end up in the class. I'm not going to look at you through the limitation that you have of yourself. I'm not looking at you through your eyes of your own limitation. Sometimes the actualization of where you energetically reach doesn't occur. There's a time lag. I had a few people at this current class and at this SOP. I've been in Delhi for about 2 weeks now. And I've had people who attended my last few classes come up to me from Hyderabad and Mumbai and be like, man, I didn't think I got anything out of your class, or I didn't know why I was in your class. And my whole life has changed. It kind of creates in your universe to the extent that you're willing to receive. But for those of you who don't want the explosion into receiving, that's okay. It'll creep up on you. It's going to be in your universe, and it's going to be present, and it's going to create slowly, step by step, until you're willing to step into the greatness that you are. And so, you know, from a very practical point of view, something that someone said to me about the body whispering class that they got out of, what they got out of the body whispering class, is she said she's done so many classes and she does body work and she does SOP sessions. And she says no matter what session she starts now, she uses the body whispering tools first to activate and step into whatever session she's facilitating. And she's not a body worker, and she's someone who didn't know why she was in the body whispering class in Mumbai for the whole time she was there, plus a few months later. It's only recently that she's realized how much she got out of the body whispering class. So for those of you that are wondering what happens in a body whispering class, and I thank you all for this conversation, because it's been such a cool conversation, even though I've done most of the talking, but I've energetically talked to you, so thank you. For those of you that are wondering what happens in a body whispering class, yeah, there's facilitation, there's body work, there's body swaps. We have massage tables being sent to Mumbai, Smriti's on it, Sonali's on it. You've got tables popping up, you've got chairs, you've got a venue. We do swaps, there's no question that's off limits. There's no place that's off limits. And so we energetically, as well as practically, as well as physically, go into spaces and explore them together with the contribution of everyone in the room, so that when you then step into your life after the class, you're empowered. Empowerment is a concept that's very important to me. As a facilitator, the number one thing that I want to do is empower you. Empowerment means that you step into what you have available to you. And you don't need anyone else. And you don't need validation. And you don't doubt yourself. It takes you out of your head a lot. So for head trippers, I'm a head tripper. I used to be a massive head tripper. So to go from head tripping to not thinking most of the time at all, and just relying on energy to navigate through life, it's a pretty good class if you're a head tripper. If you're a healer, it's a really great class. If you're a facilitator or a body worker, or someone who already works on a lot of bodies and facilitates, or wants to really step into it more, it's a really good class, because the concepts and the information and the energetic information and contribution you receive is universal. It's not defined, and kind of what Sonali was talking about, it's not defined to you needing to have access as a big part of your life, or being an access facilitator or a body worker. Access is a huge contribution and is a part of these classes, because I am access. I am access, and I'm access consciousness, and I am about accessing consciousness. And there are different ways, and sometimes you get it when you get it, or you hear it when you hear it, or you get it from the person that you can receive it from. And so one piece of feedback that I get all of the time is that people who've attended so many classes with so many facilitators and done all of the top classes, there's stuff that they get out of these classes that they haven't been able to get from anyone else's. And I don't know why that is. I just know that it is, and I know that's what it creates, and it's been fed back to me so many times that now it's just a given that you may receive from this class the energetic awareness, and therefore when you receive energetic awareness, you're able to claim and own and acknowledge what previously was just a cognitive concept. So for those of you that have no idea who I am, welcome, hello. My name is Dr. Adila Rafiz, and I'm inviting you to join me at this class called the Body Whispering class. And my background is being a chiropractor and a facilitator, and someone that works on bodies and works with people. And I've done that for years and years. 8 years I've worked in a clinic. I've worked with people. I've literally seen hundreds of people a week. So I have information, and I have awareness, and I also apart from my work experience for 8 years, I had to study for 7 years to get my qualification. And my qualification was about how the body works, about anatomy, physiology, neurology. So a gap that I bridge, or I like to think that I bridge, may or may not be true, is where there's cognitive information, but it's not energetically owned in a body. So you could hear someone tell you something time after time after time, but when you receive that information energetically, everything changes. When you own information energetically in your body, in your being, in your knowing, it lands very, very differently, and it creates very, very differently to when you've just received cognitive information repeatedly for your mind. Because there are concepts that we all know about cognitively. There's concepts that we have all heard repeatedly cognitively to do with bodies, to do with health, to do with money, to do with creating your life, to do with consciousness. But to receive that information energetically, and to claim it, and to own it, and to acknowledge it, and to then create your life from that space is actually a completely different ball game. It's completely different. When you step into that place and you operate from that place, nothing is the same anymore. And so that is what I'm inviting you to. In Mumbai on the 11th and 12th of August at the Novotel Hotel in Juhu. You can contact Smriti, you can contact Sonali, and if you're in Delhi and you'd like to be in a pod because you cannot physically get to Mumbai, you can contact Aradhana. And if you're in Hyderabad, you can, so these are the pods that are happening, and more pods are being created. So today a pod for Kolkata got created with Shruti. Shruti, you're on here, aren't you? Yes, here you are.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
say hi to everyone and say hi and tell them how to contact you if they're in contact?
Uh, Adila, even I had a question that how does this body whispering work over, the class is happening in Mumbai and we are sitting here in Calcutta. So how does that work? Even that is like a big adventure for me. So
It
could you?
is such an adventure. Thank you for asking that question.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to ask, is Sonal Kiswani, you're online. I can't see you, so let me find you. Sonal. Hey, there's a few of you on here. Sonal, I can't find you. Who live streamed the business whispering class? Who on here live streamed the business whispering class? I think we've lost Sonal.
I did also.
Oh, Sonali, how do you receive the information? Okay, so we did the business whispering class in Delhi, and Sonali was in Mumbai. So Sonali, how does that work? How do you receive or create or get the stuff from this class, especially given that the body whispering class is a body class? So what would you say to people who are live streaming?
I would say that if you've really heard the first half of this call where we even begun speaking about don't go with the words, go with the energy, you'd actually already be in class, because when you're even live out there watching and hearing the class, you are receiving so much more, just so much more. There is not one moment when you are not present with whatever is going on in the class. And if we're talking about body whispering, I've taken a body whispering class online all by myself, and the greatest change I have received in my own body after that. I did not require another person because my body is mine. And what if it was just me listening to the whispers of my body? And then what change and what contribution can that be to me and through me to everybody else?
Also, to add to that, we do have we have made arrangements for someone to come in, someone professional to come in with a camera set up, so that we can kind of zoom in when Adila is working on the bodies. And because, well, some of us do like to see what is she doing, where is she placing a hand, all of that. So that has kind of been taken care of with this person coming in and going to completely focus on what exactly is going on the table, which you will have access to by view as well as by sound. And it's fun to be part of a pod as well, if you can be, because it's wonderful to play with others and play with bodies, and So if you can't make it to a pod, fab. I mean, it's fine. Like Sonali said, there's no kind of loss of experience or nothing that you won't really get. And if you do have the choice to have fun with bodies, play with bodies, enjoy with bodies, why not join a pop? Or come to Mumbai to the live class.
What more do I need to say? My team is taking care of it. I didn't tell Sonali or pay Sonali or ask Sonali to say that. In fact, I've never heard that before. I'd never received that feedback from her before. She's just a box of surprises, that girl. But
now you know now why she's getting to pose with all the Audis and the Ferraris, and you know that, right? Now we know the secret.
Experiences, right?
Adila?
Yes.
Can I add on my always listening to your audio and never yet live in your class experience?
Where are you? Wait, I'm gonna put you on here. I'm gonna find you because you.
No, I'm not on. The camera is not turned on. I just it's, but I just want to say like, um, I listen to the audio most of the time due to time difference. But this time I'm gonna make sure I stay up. It's 11:30 when you start the class. PM.
Canada. She's on my team. I've given up trying to figure out the time difference because she's awake like 24 hours and we're messaging 24 hours a day. I give up trying to keep up with it.
But yeah, I just want to share my experience with just even I wasn't attending the business whispering class. I was listening to the audio. Um, I was able to receive all the energy that was present in the class, and truly it knocked me out. I was running bars. This last class that Adila just had, I was running bars with someone, and my bars was just running like crazy when she was talking about certain topic, and it's like nothing's an accident, you know. Like, oh, I'm on this bars, and she's talking about this, you know. Anyway, I receive like this the energy and everything just the same, whether I was physically in India or not was irrelevant. So energy is energy, and I receive everything. The whole thing is, if you are willing to receive, you get it. And that's just my experience being in Canada, being knocked out from a recording. How does it get any better?
You guys are crazy. So, I'm going to say one more thing, Shruti, and then I'm going to see if we've answered your question. But there are some people, and this is a recent awareness, but there are some people that receive more by not being present in the room. Because they may not be ready or not be willing, or we're all different. And especially when you're very humanoid, like, for example, Wendy exponentially is an X-Men and taps into those capacities. And being in the room might take away from actually the energetic information that you receive, because going back to what I was talking about, with the information I have as a practitioner, when you're physically in a space, you rely on your eyes, your ears. You rely on the senses that you have that tell you what's in this reality and what's real. There are some of you who are going to actually receive more by live streaming or being in a pod and not being physically in the room, because you're willing to receive more energetic information when you can't rely on your eyes, your ears, and your touch by being physically in the room. And so you can ask the question if that applies to you, and then you can join a pod in Delhi, Hyderabad, Kolkata, or Bangalore with Bhagya. But it is never an accident if you turn up to these classes and how you turn up to these classes. So if you're meant to show up in person because you're ready for that fucking roller coaster, then you're going to turn up in person. And if you're ready to receive it energetically without the confrontation of being there, then you're going to receive it energetically via live stream. And if you're ready to receive it with a lovely group of friends, with a wonderful host who takes care of all your needs, then you're going to turn up to a pod. But whatever way you turn up to that class is the right way for you to turn up to that class. And you don't have to, you're allowed to do this class more than once, and you're allowed to do this class in multiple ways. So don't think that if I do this class this time on live stream, you can't choose it live next time in person. I've got people finally choosing the repeat class for the second and third times. There's now amazing repeat price. It's 50% if you are repeating this class. So please don't think that if you do this class this time, you can't choose it next time at a 50% discount and show up live if you have to live stream it this time. Ask what it will create. Please don't forget your tools. You know that question, you know those tools of asking, if I do this, what will my life be like in 5 years? If I don't do this, what will my life be like? Is it heavy? Is it light? Is now the time? Ask those questions. And then don't come to a conclusion about you have to show up live or doing it live stream or in a pod won't give you the same experience. Like Wendy said it beautifully, energy is energy. You're an energetic being. Energy is our first language. Are you willing to step into that? The more you're willing to step into that, your life will change. The more you're willing to rely on the energetic information that you receive and create your life from that. I'm asking so many questions these days and so many weird questions these days, like about what's going on. And when I receive the energetic information, I trust it rather than think that it can't be correct or true. And everything is so much easier. So would you be willing to ask the question and then receive the information and then trust the information enough to act on it? And that might mean getting yourself to the class physically, joining your closest pod, or live streaming it, even if it's by yourself like Sonali did, and then she tells me that she got the most change out of that class. And I know she's been in real classes with me live, so I'm wondering what the hell. But anyway, right? Okay, so Shruti, does that answer your question?
Yes, very well. It was just that when people are asking here, how do we connect to her? So now I can give them this awareness. Yeah, that's not about the words, it's about the energy. Just be there.
And you can give them this. We are going to send out the recording of this to you guys, and you can share it with those people that have any doubt, because if you're willing again to tap into the energetic information that was available in this Zoom, whatever this was, they'll get it. The people that are meant to get it and the people that are meant to be here. Ina, love you so much, my darling. Love you so much. Sheena, recordings, you get audio and video recordings. You'll get follow-up emails with tools, information, and relevant clearings for you post the class. We don't have a certificate system because I don't think I'm that much greater than you or more awesome than you or a bigger being than you that I give you a certificate saying you've been in a class with me, or that or I sign your manuals even though people have asked me to. I mean, you're greater than I am. You have more available to you than I have in some ways, in places. There are things that only you are capable of. I'm no one to certify you in that. So you won't get a certificate. Smriti can ask some questions about the logistics of if we want to incorporate certificates for the future. But you will get the recordings and the PDF and the tools. So I hope that helps. And any other questions, let me know. We're in the final few minutes of this Zoom, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. There's so many of you online, and I just want to do a quick shout out to my sister Zeenat, who I've just seen on here. Zeenat, I've unmuted you. Can you say hi? Might be another Zeenat. I think there's one in Bangalore too. But I just want to say hi to all of you. Nancy, Gitu, Manleen, Pooja, like I see you. Rabia, Sheena, Neha, Shalini, Lizia, all of you, like, I'm aware of you. You know, I thought until very, very recently, very recently, that a lot of people couldn't see me and didn't know who I was and weren't aware of who I was. And for any of you that have that going on or think I don't see you or I'm not aware of you or what's going on in your universe, or you thinking about attending this class or wondering what you'll get out of this class, I am aware of you. And it doesn't matter to me if you actually choose or show up to this particular class or not. It's not going to stop me from contributing to you and wishing you all the best and empowering you in whatever way I can.
Thank you, Adila. Thank you.
I'm grateful for you guys. So grateful for you guys. So thank you so much for taking I'm so grateful. And I think we'll wrap up. Smriti, Aradhana, Sonali are your go-to people for the Mumbai class. For the pods, it's Bhagya in Bangalore, it's Shruti in Kolkata, and it's Monica or myself. You can revert to me for Hyderabad. We're just figuring a few things out there. And live stream is an option, turning up live is an option, and just being aware of these energies and inviting them into your life. You don't have to turn up to the class. Invite these energies into your life and turn up to the class when it's right for you, because each class goes to a place that we've never been before. And I'm really, really interested and dedicated to going beyond where any of us have ever been before. And so thank you. I'm grateful beyond words. And I'll see you guys in Mumbai. And if I don't see you in Mumbai, I'll see you somewhere.
Thank you, Adila.
Thank you,
Looking forward to
Adila.
seeing you and looking forward
Thank
to
you all.
welcoming everybody who's choosing to be there.
I'm so excited about going to Mumbai. It's my favorite city.
And also, if anybody wants a private
I love you,
session,
Darling. I love your Radna's house, but I love Mumbai.
I just wanted to say one last thing. If anybody who's looking for a private session with Adila in Delhi, she's here in Delhi tomorrow with us, and you can avail that chance for yourself and your bodies.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, please.
If you're in Mumbai and you want a private session, and I know that the class starts and then everyone wants a private session, but I'm flying out the day right after the class for the private sessions. And so please use your awareness and put your name down or pencil your name in with Smriti or Sonali for a session before I fly out on the 13th. We can have a session on the 10th, 11th, or 12th. And I've already got some bookings in Mumbai. So please be
Can't hear you, Adila. Please, louder.
Book a session with Sonali and Smriti for Mumbai. Do it before I fly out on the 13th. I'm leaving the day after that, and I'll see you guys later. See you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Adila.